Hey, I'm Ron Drotos from KeyboardImprov.com, and I've been fascinated by Elton John's playing ever since I was about 14, 15 years old, back in the late 70s, and I bought some cassette tapes, because we used to have cassettes back then, and one of the first two I ever bought was Elton John's Greatest Hits. And you turn on and you hear... Your Song, right? It wasn't until years later that I realized that one of the things I loved about his playing is that he's so influenced by classical music, because I love classical music too. And he's talked about it a lot. He had classical training. It just wasn't his path. He loved rock and roll as well. But he credits classical music with giving him a sense of song structure and how chords go from one to the other, and his technique as well. There's a specific instance of this, which is really great. We're going to use it to study the connection between Elton John and classical music, using Your Song and Chopin's Prelude in C minor. Because there's an interview that was on TV, I'm sure you can find it on YouTube. It's with Elton John being interviewed by Barbara Walters. I think it was early 80s, I'm not really sure. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I do remember he spoke to her about how he composes, and he would get the lyrics from Bernie Taupin at that time, and he illustrates with Your Song, and he says he was basically writing church hymns, you know, like British church chords, and he would just go, it's a little bit funny, da 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 da, and by itself, these sound like hymn chords, right? It's very classical, right? And you can hear that even, you know, in other early songs of his, like Border Song and his first album, Elton John. A lot of classical type stuff on it. But what he did then is he took those same chords and he would just sort of do like finger style guitar. See? And that's one of the secrets of his style. Very classical style chords in a lot of his pieces, but with that, you know, 70s pop-ish sort of finger-style guitar playing. And I thought we'd sort of reverse engineer this using a Chopin piece and see if we can do the same thing, because like I was showing you, Elton John said that when he wrote Your Song, it started out with the chords in a classical style, and that's what this piece is. And even like that, it kind of has like that Elton John feel, if we think of it like that, right? Of course, it's Chopin from the 1800s. It shows you how deep his knowledge and love of classical music really goes. So what if we did that finger style thing that he did on Your Song, those chords, to this? So instead of this, we kind of do what he did on Your Song. I love doing stuff like that. I invite you to do it too. Learn Your Song with the chords, and then with that finger style thing, and then do the same thing on Chopin's Prelude in C minor. Have fun with this. It's a whole area of exploration, and it helps us really understand and appreciate Elton John's playing a lot more.